Welcome to episode 4 of the Expert's Guide to Empires and Puzzles, and in this episode I'm going to talk about troops. So I'm going to go over to my barracks here and open up the troops to show you a little bit about what I'm talking about here. So these are the troops. Sometimes people get the terms troops and heroes mixed up. Troops specifically are what you put on your heroes to make them stronger in battle. And since this is the Expert's Guide, y'all probably know that already. But since this is the Expert's Guide, 4-star troops are going to be your bread and butter. So if you're going to be a pro at this game, then you really need to try and acquire 5 4-star troops of each color and then work on leveling them up. They take a long time to level up. So even the unleveled ones are useful. In fact, I do use them when I go raiding all the time and in wars, even unleveled. I think that they are better even than the leveled 3-star ones. So let me show you what I mean by that. Let me find one of my 3-star troops that I worked on like early in the game. So I got a level 5 one there. Do I have any higher than that? I got a couple level 5s. Yeah, here's a level 10. Let's look at a level 10 3-star green troop. We got 13% attack and 13% defense. Those are really the only stats I care about on this one. The crit is 6%. But the attack and the defense is what's going to overlap with some 4-star troops. So this level 10 3-star troop has 13 and 13. So let's go look at an unleveled, let's look at 2 unleveled green troops then. So look at that, 13 and 16 right off the bat, completely unleveled. So a 4-star troop is better than completely unleveled is better than a leveled 3-star troop. And of course I could level up that 3-star troop even higher than this to make it better, but I think that's a waste of resources when you could just wait for a troop like that. And so here's the 4-star troop with 17% attack and 11% defense. So really, these 4-star troops are necessary to be an expert at this game, and you need to try and acquire those. So which ones are better? We have 2 different kinds of 4-star troops. All the colors have a mana troop and a crit troop. That's what they're typically referred to as. I'm just going to take a look at the unleveled ones so when you get them you know what they look like. In fact, the 2 green ones we looked at were the crit and the mana troop. This is a crit troop because you can see that it has a critical stat that the mana troop doesn't have. That's why it's usually referred to as crit. It also has a health bonus there. So the mana troop is called a mana troop because it has a mana bonus. It also has a healing bonus, but nobody really cares about that. So this is the difference between mana troops and crit troops. Now, in my personal opinion, there is a better one, especially if you're going to try and be an expert at this game, and that is the mana troop, because the name of the game is speed. The faster your heroes, the more likely it is that you're going to win. And there are particular levels as you level these up that are more important than the others. So let's go take a look at what I mean by that. All right, first of all, I want to credit Kerberos for making this troop leveling guide. It is super useful. This is 4-star troops only and what happens at each level. So, if I zoom in on the mana troop one, you can see that at level 1, you got 17% attack, 11% defense, 12% healing, 5% mana. At level 2, the one that goes up is the attack. Do you see that there? So then at level 3, what goes up is the healing. And then you go on down and until you eventually possibly reach level 30 where you get big bonuses to everything. But the mana is the most important part of the mana troop because they make your heroes faster. And the 2 levels of particular importance are manas, or levels 11 and level 23, where they affect how fast a couple particular heroes are. So let's take a look at level 11 first. Level 11 is where you go from a 7% mana bonus to a 9% mana bonus. Do you see that there? And at that point, your extra fast heroes go off a whole turn earlier. So before that, your extra fast heroes take 6.5 tiles, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, 7 tiles. So really, 3 matches before they go off. But when you go from 10 to 11, levels 10 to 11 here, all of a sudden it only takes 2 matches for your extra fast heroes to go off. The extra fast ones like Gravemaker, or Cage Barado, or Victor. So that becomes super useful. It's super powerful to get even more out of your extra fast heroes. The next level that's really, really important is level 23, where you go from an 11% mana bonus to a 13% mana bonus. And the reason that one's important is because that's the level at which you basically make your average heroes fast. And that is probably just as powerful as making your extra fast heroes go off sooner. Because it takes 10 tiles to set an average hero off. But when you go from 11% mana to 13% mana, all of a sudden the average heroes go off with 9 tiles. So you all of a sudden go from needing to make 4 matches to making 3 matches. So if you want to make your average heroes fast, then you need to do that. And no amount of crit troop is going to possibly be better than that particular effect there. Now, the slow heroes and the fast heroes are also affected by this mana production, but not in a big way like level 11 and level 23. So slow heroes require 1 less tile at level 17, but that just means going from like 12 tiles to 11 tiles, and this doesn't really change how many matches it takes. Same thing with fast heroes. They require 1 less tile at level 29 when you go from 13% mana to 15%. But really, that's like going from like 9 tiles to 8 tiles. So again, you're still having to make 3 matches, and that doesn't really change much. So you really want the mana troop, have set up your mana speed troops for level 11 and level 23 for your extra fast and your average heroes. Now, crit troops do have their place. They do give a boost to some heroes, a benefit. So, of course, you're probably not just going to draw mana troops when you play this game. You know that RNG likes to just give you whatever it feels like giving you. So, if you do have 4-star crit troops, they are also really good. Not as good as the mana troops, so you really do want the mana troops. But the heroes that benefit the most from the crit troops are typically like your tank in the front, so it survives longer. I think there's a big benefit to a hero living longer for its special to be able to go off, even if it's not faster. But the biggest benefit comes to the minion creators, like Delilah, or Mother North, or Sashat. And there are other minion creators too, but what happens with these are, if you look at the crit troops here, you see that there's a health bonus, and the higher that health bonus goes, the bigger those minions are going to be, so they're going to survive longer. And also, as the attack goes up on the crit troop, that means that the minion's attack will go up as well. So they do have a place in this game as well. But if you have the choice, then you want to be making sure to work on your 4-star mana troops. So in my personal opinion, though, once you get up to level 23 on the mana troops, and however high you want to go with the crit troops, but I'd put it at around level 23 as well. In fact, if I take a close look at this, I think when you go from defense, let's say, I think there's actually a benefit if you don't have a mana troop on and you're leveling a crit troop to go from level 26 to 27, where you get a 25% defense bonus and stop. But it's fine if you go from level 21 to 22 and want to stop there with a crit troop. That's okay, because you get a 23% bonus. You're going to need to spend a whole lot more resources just to get that 2% defense bonus from there. But if you have extra resources, sure, you can do that. For the mana troops in particular, you can stop once you get to level 23. I know I went a little bit past that. I kind of regret that a little bit. I wish I would have stopped at level 23. And that's because it just takes so many resources. I'm going to show you what I mean. It takes so many resources to go past that point. So from levels, and you can see the levels on the left here. And by the way, I want to credit. Let's see who put this chart together. Revelate. So I'll put a link to both Kerberos' chart and Revelate's chart in the description of this video, so you can look at them in more detail, because you probably don't have enough time to look at them right now. It's a little difficult with me moving it around, but you can see levels 1 through 23 take quite a bit of food, but not like after level 23. It takes an enormous amount of food to level a troop up 1 level. So I think there's more benefit to getting it to level 23 and then working on a second set of troops and then a third set of troops. So that's why. So if you want to look at this more in detail and see how much food it really takes to feed, then certainly you can go look at that link. All right, so let me show you an example of why I think the mana troops are better. I'm going to go do a raid and show you how some of the heroes speed up. So here we have an Eve tank. I'm going to do 4-1 as far as attack goes, 4 red and 1 purple. Sometimes I do 3-2, sometimes I go mono, but for this particular one I want to show off the difference in speeds. So let me show you my team. I've got Rigard, who's average, so I'm going to put a level 23 plus troop on him to make him go off after 3 matches instead of 4. I've got a Gravemaker who's extra fast, and I said at level 11, when the mana troop is at level 11, he's going to go off after only 2 matches, so I want to put a level 11 troop on him. And I said that the average heroes, just like Rigard, go off after 3 matches with a level 23 plus mana troop. So Anzo, Wilbur, and Guardian Kong are all average speed, but I'm going to put the mana troop on Wilbur, even though he doesn't really benefit from the super high attack that comes with it. But I'm going to put it on him because I think it's going to help with my survivability if he goes off quicker. This fight is going to kind of depend on luck, as most fights do, but I hope to get to show you how I benefit from having these mana troops on 2 heroes that particularly benefit from it. So let's go attack this guy and see if I can make it work for you. Alright, so there's not a whole lot of red tiles on here. Let me just scan the board for a moment, see what I want to do with it. Let's do this match, because I can get at least a red one to go off. I'm going to keep working on purple as well as I get that opportunity, because I think I'm going to need Rigard after Eve goes off potentially. Okay, so see this yellow match in the middle with 2 reds on either side? I'm hoping a red will pop up in between it. Even if it doesn't show up exactly, I'm hoping to be able to set off. Alright, I just need 1 more red match to get Gravemaker to fire. Let's try this. Alright, we're getting close. I can make a red match there at the bottom. Yeah, I think I want to do that, because that's going to hurt Eve a lot too. Alright, see? 2 matches, Gravemaker's gone off. And I don't have a good board here, so this is where I'm really benefiting from that mana troop on the extra fast hero, the very fast hero. Alright, so I think that Frida and Elkanan are pretty big threats right now. I'm going to try to burn them down. Okay, what I want to see now is, can I clump some more red together? I'm just going to try and, I really don't have many good options here, so I'm going to try to ghost tiles up the middle to get red to clump. Let's keep doing it. Okay, that's good. Now this should set off a few heroes. Alright, see that? Alright. Now things are looking up. So I'm going to set off Wilbur. See, Anzo goes really well with Wilbur, because he turns down their defense, and then Anzo gains me a whole bunch of life off of that. Alright, now watch this. Here's the other thing, is with a very fast hero that has a level 11 mana troop, you can get it to charge after only 1 match. Isn't that cool? All right, so I got to show that off a little bit. I didn't really get to show you how it only takes 3 matches to set Wilbur off because I got to ghost a tile there that set everybody off at the same time. But that's basically how that works. So yeah, I talked a lot today. There was a lot of information in here. If you have any questions, certainly leave them in the comments. Me or other people who are watching this video can try to answer them. All right, thanks for watching.